So I have laid out here the 3 different pigments that are available, and I want to talk briefly about why you would use one over another or what you might use these for. So first of all, I have the iron oxide pigments. These are super stable pigments. These are very UV resistant. If you are looking for some sort of outdoor coloring, this might be the one that you want to select. And the nice thing is, because it has the primary colors of red, yellow, blue, but it also has black, you can actually mix these pigments together and come up with all sorts of different color combinations because you can use those primary colors. The next colors that we have here are the mica powder, and they're like a metallic, very finely ground. You could mix these together, but I don't know why you would, because these are typically used for highlighting something. So maybe you've got a crack or a hole, or maybe you've carved some images onto something and you want to fill in with some highlight material. This is what you would use here. This comparatively you might be using to maybe mix some colors together and maybe fill a crack or a hole or something and sort of disguise it that way. This is more for highlighting. And finally, we have the inlay material, which is the crushed abalone in a variety of different colors and crushed gemstone, and these are chunkies, and typically you would not mix these together. This is going to be something that's going to be highlighted. Possibly it's going to be something that people will be picking up and touching, maybe a pen or something like that. So that's where you would use something like this. Now, remember with all of these pigments that there's 2 considerations. There's the optical consideration from light coming in the top and bouncing into your eye, and that's where these are very brilliant. The iron oxides are, you can see the colors are very brilliant. The mica powders are also brilliant, but they have another little feature that they have a translucency to them depending on how thick the material is or how much you put into some material. So if you're mixing this with a pouring epoxy or a 5-minute epoxy, if you just mix a little bit of this, you can get sort of a translucent color with this. And of course, this is a little bit of a mixture of both. So I'm going to take a moment now and show you what happens when you mix iron oxide together, a different color that you can get, and also the translucency. Okay, so there's those colors, and they're in the same order. There's the iron oxide, the mica powder, and this is just an example of the crushed abalone. And what I wanted to demonstrate here is, first of all, the color. Now this one here, I've actually mixed some different colors here, and you can see that I've ended up with a light brown. If you added more black to it, you could get a darker brown, or you could change the tone of it by adding more blue or more yellow. So a very nice mixture of dyes that you can change the color on. The second one is the mica powder, and you can see that I haven't mixed a lot of mica powder in there. And then of course the last one is the abalone. But if you look through, you can see that the reflective, how brilliant this color is. Even though it's brown, it's a very strong color compared to the mica, which is a little bit more weak. And of course this one here is a little bit of a combination of both. But as you see, when I move this across what's underneath, you can see that there's definitely a transparency with the mica powder. There's a tendency for that with the abalone, and I have it's a little bit thick here, so it doesn't work quite as well, but there's absolutely no translucency with the mica powder, with the iron oxide. So it's very, very opaque. It will disguise, it will cover whatever you have underneath it. And I just wanted you to see that. So knowing that will help you decide whether you're mixing something that has, if you have bulk and you're looking for translucency, you might want to look more towards a mica powder, even maybe an abalone. If you want opaqueness, you would be looking more for an iron oxide to get a nice, brilliant, color-fast color. Or possibly something like a crushed gemstone, because that would also be very opaque. And that's some tips on what to select for what kind of job you're working with. And for more information on wood inlays like this, check out the Starbond website at starbond.com.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated and see more content like this. Also, feel free to comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.